In 2009, as a freshman at Marin Catholic High School, a private school in Kentfield, California, Jared quickly showed his promise on a JV team. There were no specific stats from this freshman year I could find, but it was clear that his talent was evident from the start. The coaching staff recognized his potential. Even his dad, Jerry Goff, who was a Pro MLB player for 7 years, said Jared was a well-poised player.
He's a completely different guy than I was, mentally, physically, emotionally. He's got some qualities that I wish I had when I was playing.
His sophomore year, Jared made a leap to varsity, joining the team as the backup QB. This season was crucial for his development, as he got to see what high school football really was like playing under the Friday night lights. Though he didn't see much playing time, he used this opportunity to learn the offense and adapt to the speed of the varsity game. This season, Marin was a damn good team. After week 3, they went on a blowout streak, 42-0, 42-7, 31-0, 34-0, even putting up 60 points against Redwood in week 6. They finished the season 10-0 and won the next 2 playoff games before falling to Encineo in the semifinals in a close 20-15 loss.
Yeah, man! We're going to the championship!
Jared's junior year was his breakout season. He took over as the starting quarterback and immediately made an impact. Marin hopped right back on the winning train and dominated their schedule week in and week out, putting up 60 points versus Redwood again. They found themselves back in the semifinals versus Encineo again. This time, Jared balled, throwing for 305 yards and 4 TDs.
Jerry Goff, the junior quarterback, scrambling, then fires it 65 yards in the air on the money. To look at the junior Goff, a terrific ball to Farney, who makes him, and that leads to this Goff touchdown run from 3 yards out.
Marin won 41-6. They made it to the divisional game, but this was an off game for Jared, fumbling and turning the ball over early in the game, but he bounced back to throw for a TD. But with just 2 seconds left in the game, they lost by 2 to a field goal.
Now, just 2 seconds left, calling Christian Anazana, 21-yard field goal to win the game.
Jared finished that game 11 of 22 for 138 and a TD. His performance for the season, though, earned him the MCAL Back of the Year award, which is given to the most outstanding running back or all-purpose back in the Marin County Athletic League, essentially recognizing the best player in the backfield within the league. His senior year, Marin was doing whatever it took to get to that championship, even hosting 6 a.m. workouts in high school.
I'd do anything for these guys, you know, they're my brothers, they're my family, I love all of them.
And this season was the pinnacle of his high school career. Marin started off their season hot, 2-0, before they lost their first regular season game since 2009 in week 3 versus Vacaville, 28-24. They quickly bounced back and won the rest of the season and made it to the playoffs. In the regional game, Jared led Marin to a 23-7 victory over Sutter. He threw for 225 yards, including a couple second half touchdowns, and added 50 yards rushing on the ground, which propelled the team to the state finals. Despite a narrow 38-35 loss to Madison, Jared balled, completing 14 of 30 passes for 262 yards and 4 TDs, showcasing his ability to perform under pressure in high-state games. On the season though, Jared finished with 3,600 yards, 40 touchdowns, and 12 INTs. He once again won the MCAL Back of the Year award, cementing his status as the best quarterback in the league.
Jerry Goff is probably one of, if not the finest and most accoladed high school athletes in the history of Marin County.
Under his leadership, Marin Catholic had a phenomenal season. The team won the section championship, they claimed the NorCal championship, and Marin Catholic reached the state finals, just missing out on a state title. His individual accolades continued to pile up. He was named the Elite 11 finalist, recognizing him as one of the top high school quarterbacks in the nation. And just a quick fun fact, him and Josh Dobbs are the only 2 active QBs from that year this season. His performance throughout the season though showcased his arm strength, accuracy, and leadership skills, attracting attention from college recruiters across the country. Over his career, he put up some crazy numbers, with his overall record being 49-4, with the varsity record of 39-4, 7,914 passing yards, and 93 touchdown passes. Jared's teammates and coaches consistently praised him for his leadership style and impact on the team, highlighting several key qualities that he had, basically being a cool, calm, collected guy.
Just the cool, calm factor he has, you know, where no moment or no stage has been too big for him, and he's got a super calm presence about him, sort of like Joe Montana, Tom Brady type of guy.
His recruitment process was relatively straightforward, with Cal Berkeley playing a significant role from the beginning. The Golden Bears became the first team to offer Jared a scholarship midway through his junior year of high school. In March of 2012, well before his senior season, he committed.
I don't know, have you decided on a college yet?
Yeah, I'm going to Cal Berkeley. You know, it's close to home. A lot of my friends and family get to come watch me. I've always been a Cal fan.
He's always been a Golden Bear ever since he was a kid.
Cal's getting a future NFL quarterback.
While Cal was his first offer, he did receive interest from some other programs. Washington State and Boise State offered him scholarships, and he also garnered interest from Washington, Oregon, Oregon State, and USC. His decision to choose Cal was influenced by his family ties to the university. His father, Jerry, was an All-American baseball player at Cal and also played punter for the football team during his senior year. And his mother, Nancy, is also a Cal graduate. Jared arrived at Cal as a mid-year enrollee in January of 2013, eager to make his mark. In a historic moment, he became the first true freshman quarterback to start a season opener for Cal. This achievement set the tone for a freshman year filled with promise and challenges. His debut season, the team didn't finish quite as planned. He started all 12 games, completing 320 of 531 passes for 3,500 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. His yardage total set a new Cal single-season record, hinting at the greatness to come. However, the path wasn't always smooth. In a game against Oregon, he faced his toughest challenge yet. Battling heavy rain and strong winds, he struggled, going just 3 of 7 for 11 yards and 2 fumbles before being pulled in the first quarter. This moment of adversity will prove to be a crucial learning experience.
I was just having trouble gripping the wet ball in the rain, and they made the decision to put Zach in. At the time, it was probably the best decision.
His best game that year, he threw for 504 yards against Washington State, setting a single-game school record. Despite his individual efforts, the team struggled, finishing with a disappointing 1-11 record. Yet, this challenging season laid the foundation for Jared. 2014, his sophomore season, saw some improvements, both in his performance and the team's results. He started all 12 games again, throwing for 3,900 yards and 35 touchdowns, while reducing his interceptions to just 7. This season, Jerry began to etch his name in the Cal record books. He set new school records for touchdowns responsible for and 300-yard passing games in a single season. A quick highlight of the year came against Colorado when Jared connected with Daniel Laskell for a 92-yard touchdown pass, the longest in school history. This game here was also a nail-biter, as Cal came back to win 59-56 in double OT after being down 21-7 in the first quarter. The team also improved, finishing with a 5-7 record. While still not a winning season, it was a significant step forward from the previous year. 2015, the junior season, was one for the books. He started all 13 games, throwing for 4,700 yards, 43 touchdowns, and just 13 passes going to the other team. These numbers set new Pac-12 single-season records, cementing his place among the conference all-time greats. Out of 13 games this season, he only had 3 under 300-yard passing games. Against Arizona State in a close 48-46 win, he had a career high, 542 passing yards with 5 touchdowns. But he also did struggle a bit a few times that season, like against Utah when he threw for 5 interceptions.
Goff gonna get hit, and the pass is intercepted. Goff has time to throw, and that one is, it's a champions as you know, as that pass is deflected, and a diving.
His performances, however, earned him the first team All Pac-12 honors, making him the first Cal quarterback to achieve this since Aaron Rodgers in 2004. Under Jared's leadership, Cal finished with an 8-5 record, reaching a bowl game for the first time since 2011. In his final college game, the Armed Forces Bowl against Air Force, he put on one final show. He threw for 464 yards and 6 touchdowns, leading Cal to a 55-36 victory, their first postseason win since 2008. Throughout his college career, he set 26 Cal records, including career marks for passing yards, touchdown passes, and passing yards per game. His ability to improve each season was a testament to his work ethic and determination. But despite these achievements, he faced one challenge. He never managed to defeat Cal's in-state rivals, Stanford, UCLA, and USC, or division rival Oregon, going 0-12 in these matchups, which his father later noted it frustrated his son. After his junior year, Jared decided to forgo his senior season and enter the 2016 draft. During his draft process, he was compared to Matt Ryan. One report reading, while Goff is a little leaner in a lower body than teams might like, he has good size and an NFL arm, advanced pocket mobility, and a field demeanor of a franchise quarterback. With many recruiters questioning his accuracy from time to time, he believed that was the best part of his game.
It's the best thing that you do as a quarterback.
I think my accuracy. It's something I kind of took pride in. When I got to Cal, I wanted to put the ball exactly where I wanted to and let the receiver make a play after the catch.
In 2016, his NFL journey began with the LA Rams, selecting him with the first overall pick in the 2016 draft.
Los Angeles Rams select Jerry Goff.
The Rams had high hopes for the young quarterback from Cal, but his rookie season was far from smooth. Jerry began the season off as a backup, sitting behind veteran Case Keenum for the first 9 games. The Rams struggled offensively during this period, ranking as the lowest scoring team in the league. He didn't start until week 11, and when he did, he struggled against the Miami Dolphins. That week, he completed 17 of 31 passes for 134 yards and not throwing any touchdowns. In 7 starts, he completed only 112 of 205 passes for just over 1,000 yards with 5 touchdown passes and 7 interceptions. Despite some flashes of potential, Jerry's performance was inconsistent. His best game came in week 12 against the Saints, where he threw for 214 yards and 3 touchdowns. However, this was overshadowed by the poor second half that contributed to the Rams' loss. And the Rams' 4-12 record left fans wondering if they had made the right choice. 2017, his fortunes changed dramatically in his second season. Under new head coach Sean McVay, Jared and the Rams flourished. Jared's improvement contributed to the Rams' success with an 11-5 record and their first NFC West Division title since '03. He played all 16 games, starting each one, and completed 296 of 477 passes for 3,900 yards, 29 touchdown passes, and just 7 interceptions, resulting in a QBR of 100.5 and an improvement from his rookie rating of 63.6. The Rams finished as the top scoring team in the NFL, averaging 29.9 points per game, which was a direct reflection from Jared's improved performance and Sean's innovative offensive strategies. Despite their success in the regular season, the Rams faced disappointment in the playoffs, losing to the Falcons in a wildcard round 26-13. 2018 was arguably his best season. He hit a career high in passing yards, touchdown passes, and rushing yards. The season began with him throwing for 233 yards and 2 touchdowns in a 33-13 victory over the Raiders. As the season progressed, he became more confident in his play. He had standout performances, including a 38-31 win against the Vikings, where he threw for 465 yards and 5 touchdowns. Despite a challenging game against the Bears, where he threw for 4 interceptions, he rebounded with some important wins, including a high-scoring 54-51 win over the Kansas City Chiefs. On the year, he threw for a career-high 4,600 yards, 32 touchdowns, leading the Rams to a 13-3 record. In the playoffs, he led the Rams to a 30-22 victory over the Cowboys in a divisional round and guided them to a dramatic 26-23 overtime win against the Saints in the NFC Championship game, becoming the youngest quarterback to win that title. However, in the Super Bowl, Jared and the Rams faced Tom Brady and the Patriots and fell short in a low-scoring 13-3 loss. And the only thing the Rams walked away with that game was tying the 1971 Miami Dolphins in Super Bowl VI for the fewest points in Super Bowl history in a loss. In 2019, Jerry Goff and the Rams faced a season filled with ups and downs, reflecting the challenges of maintaining success in the NFL after their Super Bowl appearance. Optimism surrounded the team as Jerry entered his 4th season, expected to lead the Rams back to the playoffs. The season began with a dub against the Panthers, where he threw for 186 yards and a touchdown. However, the team wasn't as consistent when they faced tough competition in the NFC West. Throughout the season, he had some on games and some off, completing only 394 out of 626 attempts for 4,600 passing yards, 22 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions. His completion percentage stayed around the 62.9 mark, and while he demonstrated flashes of brilliance, such as standout games against the Falcons where he threw for 517 yards, the team struggled with turnovers and offensive rhythm. The Rams experienced their shares of challenges during the season. They faced tough losses against high-scoring teams like the Buccaneers, the Ravens, which exposed their weaknesses in both their offensive line and defensive strategies. They finished with a 9-7 record, which was not enough to secure a playoff spot. This marked a disappointing end to what had been a promising trajectory just 1 year prior. The awkward 2020 season, the Rams were back performing like their Super Bowl season in 2018. Jerry played in 15 games, completing 370 of 552 passes for 3,900 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions, with a passer rating for the season of 90%. He had several standout performances during this season, including a 376-yard, 3-touchdown game against the Buccaneers and a 351-yard game against the Cardinals. However, he also faced challenges. In a tough game against the Dolphins, he threw for 355 yards but had 2 interceptions. The Rams finished with a 10-6 record, securing a playoff berth. They performed well at home with a 6-2 record and went 4-4 on the road. The team's strong defense was a significant factor, allowing the fewest points in the league, with just 296 points against them. In the playoffs, the Rams defeated the Seahawks in the wildcard round, but ultimately fell to the Packers in the divisional round. In January of 2021, a blockbuster trade shook the NFL world. The Rams sent Jerry Goff along with a package of draft picks to the Detroit Lions in exchange for Matthew Stafford. This trade marked the beginning of a new chapter for both the quarterbacks and franchises. That same month, Dan Campbell became the new head coach of the Lions, and suddenly they had a new identity.
And when you knock us down, we're going to get up, and on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
When Jared arrived in Detroit, there weren't really high expectations. The Lions were embarking on a rebuild, and many viewed Jared as a temporary solution. However, how that story would unfold over the next 3 seasons would surprise not only the Lions fans, but the entire NFL world. The 2021 season was a challenging one for Jared and the Lions. The team struggled with a 3-13-1 record, finishing last in the NFC North. He finished the season with the lowest passing yards since his rookie year in 2016, with only 3,200 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. He was also sacked the most in his career, 35 times, also losing over a career-high 280 yards. Despite the disappointing record, there were glimpses of potential. The Lions managed 2 wins over playoff teams, showing they could compete on any given Sunday. As 22 rolled around, things began to change. Jared found his footing in the Lions system, leading the team to a respectable 9-8 record, a big turnaround from the 21 season. The offense showed significant improvement, averaging 26.6 points per game from the previous year's 19. His connection with receivers, especially Amon-Ra St. Brown, began to flourish, finishing the year with 4,400 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. But it was the 2023 season where the Lions stamped their ticket as a contender in the league. Jared was balling this season, throwing for over 4,500 yards and 30 touchdowns. The Lions averaged 27.1 points per game, ranking among the league's best. The team posted a 12-5 record, securing a playoff spot and winning the NFC North Division. The Lions' wildcard game against the Rams on January 14th, Jared led the Lions to a victory over his former team, securing the Lions' first playoff victory since 1991. In the divisional round against the Buccaneers, he completed 30 of 45 passes for 287 and 2 touchdowns in a 31-23 victory. Was just 1 win away from their first Super Bowl appearance in franchise history. Against the 49ers, Jared and the Lions jumped out to a 24-7 lead at half. However, a couple of key 4th down incompletions swung the momentum to the 49ers, who scored 27 straight points as the Lions lost 34-31. And Jared went 25 of 41 for 273 and 1 touchdown. And instantly, Jared went from a perceived bridge quarterback to the Lions' franchise guy. His improvement each year mirrored the team's success, and the Lions rewarded him with the 4-year, $212 million contract extension in 2024, solidifying his place as the team's leader for a few more years. 2024, he is having a great season so far. Through week 14, he has thrown for 3,200 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions, with a 109.1 passer rating. His play has been a key factor to the Lions' success this year, and they are on a great run this season after their 1 loss to the Buccaneers in week 2. Currently at a 12-1 record, they have already clinched a playoff spot, becoming the first NFC team to do so after their week 14 victory over the Packers. And this marks their 3rd consecutive winning season, a feat they haven't achieved since 1995. Some more notable achievements thus far include becoming the first team to reach 10 wins in their 2024 season, securing consecutive 10+ win seasons for the first time in franchise history, leading the league in scoring with 31.9 points per game, and ranking 4th in both rushing yards and passing yards. With the Bills, Bears, 49ers, and Vikings left, it's a possibility they can win out. And maybe, just maybe, this is the season they can go all the way and make history.